Miranda Wilder from Community Flower Shop. Thanks so much for joining the Cookie Table podcast.
No problem.
Thank you for bearing with me. You are my guest guinea pig in my makeshift studio here at Joyful Commons.
I'm happy to be here.
So thank you. Thank you for you were here prompt and I took forever to set it up. So thank you for bearing with me. It seriously means a lot. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
It's 2026. It's a weird year.
Yes, it is a weird year
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, we're feeling it. I want to give a shout out to Steel City Neon for the new neon sign for this. Next episode, I will have batteries in the dimmer is my hope to kind of turn that down a little bit. But thank you so much for this. And then because of as if I'm not a mess as it is, but which I'm so grateful everyone bears with me for that. I was in Florida a couple days last week for a full scale client. They're getting married in Florida, which was really cool for me and my first time in my career to be able to do that. However, we ended up getting stuck there. I didn't get home until a day later. It was a big thing. So based on that, and I knew what I had going on this weekend, I didn't even ask you what your favorite cookie was because I knew I wouldn't be able to obtain the cookie in time. Which I hate that. I almost just like brought you Oreos for my cover. I was like, this is so rude. Like, because you deserve. I hate that I don't have cookies for you. But it was just one of those weekends. What is your favorite cookie, Miranda? Just so I know.
I would say it's probably a Lady Luck.
It's a
Like
good
a
one.
classic Pittsburgh cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a lot of Lady Locks on the show.
Yeah. I feel like everyone has that as a favorite, which would make sense.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good one for sure. So first and foremost, I want you to tell me about you. How did you get into flowers? Tell me about your start, where you're at now.
So I got into flowers kind of by chance.
Yeah.
I needed a job. It was after my freshman year of college, and our shop used to be in Munhall, which is not too far from Joyful
Yes, up
Commons,
the
which is
up
where
the
I
hill.
still live
Mhm,
and where I grew up.
mhm.
Um, and I was kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna walk down Main Street and just see who's hiring and kind of go from there.
Mhm.
So I actually lived like truly almost next door to the old shop. Walked in and asked if they were hiring right before Mother's Day. And Patrick said, I don't know, I'll give you a call if we need you.
Yeah.
And so he called me that night and asked if I could start tomorrow. So I've been there ever since.
Yeah.
And that's almost 15 years next May. So, it just kind of hit 14. But I feel like once it hits 1 year, I'm already saying the next year. So,
Yeah.
um,
You're vested now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Mhm.
I've been there
Yeah.
ever
Patrick's very
since.
lucky to have you. I'm sure he knows that.
Thanks.
He
Yeah.
knows that. That is so fun.
But yeah, so I've been there ever since and kind of just learned everything
Yeah.
from the start. Community flower shop wasn't as big as it is now. So we were kind of, doing daily deliveries and doing a few weddings here and there.
Yeah.
But we didn't really get into weddings until I graduated college. We were like, let's push into it. Like Patrick, was like, I feel like you have a passion for this. You want to do this.
Yeah.
And so I think we should start pushing into that. And then, I used to be just the girl that took notes in meetings.
Yeah.
But it kind of came to a point where I was doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. And everyone was like, oh, thanks, Patrick. And it was like, well, I'm the one doing all the work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Truly.
it kind of transitioned into me doing all the meetings and kind of like taking over the whole department.
Yeah.
So that, the people that they're talking to at the beginning really becomes who they're working with like the whole time. And not that he's not involved, but
Right.
it kind of really became something that I was in charge of.
Yeah.
And just from start to finish, all the everything is kind of like under
It's amazing.
my view. And so we've grown from just me to having Olivia do it too. So me and Olivia both are in charge of weddings and
Yeah.
yeah.
How many weddings on average do you think you do a year now there?
I feel like we
Or even a
probably
range?
yeah, I think we do I would say 80 to 100
Yeah.
ish like events.
Yeah.
We do everything from birthday parties, showers, to large scale
Mhm.
events and like corporate events and
Yeah.
things too. So
Yeah.
I kind of like do a count of all of them.
Mhm.
So yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah, it is a lot.
You and Olivia. So when did you bring on Olivia to help start with that a little bit?
Olivia started in 2020,
Okay.
with everything that was happening in 2020.
Yeah. Crazy time.
We still had, a lot of I feel like during the pandemic, people couldn't see other people, so
Mhm.
they were ordering flowers,
Aw.
to remind people that,
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I'm still here," kinda thing.
Mhm.
So we were pretty busy, but it was just more of a challenge to do things,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
So we brought Olivia on, and then, with all the rescheduled weddings and everything, we were like, "All right, now it's, like, really happening." So
Yeah.
her first wedding was actually mine.
Aw. It's a good way to get
In
your feet
2021.
wet, yeah.
Like, we had smaller ones that were, like, pickups from the shop and,
Yeah.
whatever, but her first, like, on-site, you know.
Mhm.
So, then, once she was with us for a little while, we kind of, like, were like, "Let's have you start taking on weddings too," and
Yeah.
she's been in the industry just as long as me,
Mhm.
a little bit longer, honestly.
Nice.
So, we all have a lot of experience and just kind of, like, have she's worked for a lot of other florists, and
Okay.
this is the only florist I've ever worked for,
Yeah.
but,
Yeah.
we've been in the industry for a while, so
Yeah. Well, you 2 are just crushing it, and obviously a massive kudos to you for getting the wedding department going at Community Flower Shop, truly. Because that's a big deal. So you should feel very prideful in that you started it and now where it is, it's just awesome. Fun fact now is that the new shop is close to my house, like 5 minutes from me.
Yeah.
So I love that. So if I do ever have couples that maybe need something smaller, I'm like, I have like pitched like, listen, like I can go pick it up. And then because we recently did that with our October wedding and then it grew.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you have to go deliver. But yeah, it's kind of nice that I'm right there too. So I can
Right.
you've helped me with bringing baskets, flowers, which I'm so grateful for because you're just right there, which is
Yeah.
wonderful. So as you mentioned, Patrick does own the shop, and you walked in, and which is just amazing. But now you're his right hand person. But I feel like now, like, would it be safe to say, would Patrick be offended if we say now that you are more the face? Like back then, it was okay. Thanks, Patrick.
Yeah,
But now
yeah.
I think people like, and we love you, Patrick. But
Yeah, I think, he's kind of
people are like, who's that guy?
yeah, right. I think he's happy to
Yeah.
be like, "Yeah, that's your thing, like,
Yeah.
you could" That's kind of the point, like, I
Yes.
want employees that can
Mhm,
take
mhm.
charge of things that I
Yeah.
don't have to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
So,
Which is a smart business owner, right? To be able to let
yeah.
go as well. Okay, so let's jump into some current flower stuff that's
Yeah.
happening around the world. So the biggest thing that I want to ask you, because we've had florists on the show before, but I these questions I wanted to pose completely away from that conversation. I was like, what did we not talk about?
Right.
And what's happening now because obviously trends and things change. But in your opinion, what do you think couples should be spending their money on with flowers?
I think that I feel pretty strongly about like people spending money, obviously on the things that matter to them.
Hmm.
But I think having statement pieces at their wedding is something that makes the most sense.
Yes.
Because if you're spreading your budget, across, the average wedding has like 15 to 20 tables. If you're really putting a lot of your budget to all 20 of these tables
Hmm.
and you want ceremony flowers and you want, every single detail of the wedding done, which is great. You're just going to have like smaller pieces
Right.
throughout the wedding.
Right.
And not that it won't look good, but just having like one big like wow, like
Mhm.
they really did something here.
Yeah.
I think that makes more of an impact than just having like, they have flowers everywhere, but no one's really, like, noticing it. They're kind of just
Yeah.
like, "That's what it looks like,
Mhm.
and I've seen it. Here I am at the wedding."
I
So,
yeah. I
I feel
agree.
like having these big pieces are, like, what really stand out in people's minds and what stands out in the clients' minds too. Like,
Absolutely.
that's something they're gonna
Hmm.
something to say wow about instead of like, "Oh, it was pretty."
I agree.
You know?
I agree completely. What are a few of your favorite locations for statement pieces?
I love, like, a good ceremony moment,
Oh,
like a
mhm.
big like an arch or, something framing the
Yeah.
couple, like, everyone's looking at you. They should be. So,
Yeah.
and I think having a few statement pieces in the reception room is always nice as well.
Mm.
Having, two really big pieces kind of, like, in the space or, something at the sweetheart table, like, just having those, like, statement moments.
Mhm.
And then you can scale back in other places too, depending on your budget, you know?
Yeah. I agree.
Um, 'Cause everyone has a budget and they're all gonna, we all gotta work for what will work the best. And that's
Right.
kind of our job
Right.
to guide them in the right direction.
Mhm. Are you seeing do you think when it comes to speaking of budget and having statement pieces and maybe being smaller somewhere else, I feel like bud vases came and then they'll never go away.
Yeah.
How do you feel about bud vases? Is there a way to even like adapt throughout the years with bud vases, still keeping things small? Like, are we changing the vases? Like, are the antique vases getting old? Like, I just want to get your thoughts on that.
I think honestly, I don't mind a bud vase.
Yeah.
Like, I like a bud vase.
Yeah.
I think that they are a nice minimal thing that you can
Hmm.
have on tables.
Hmm.
Obviously, like, it is something that we see a lot, so it could be something that we're like, "Okay, we've done that a million times."
Right.
But I think that they are a good way to get flowers on a table,
Yeah.
and, if somebody is like, "I can't afford to do a full-on centerpiece on every table," then sure, yeah, put them in there. Like, I
Hmm.
think that is great.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm. Hmm.
why not?
Yeah. They're a perfect way to cut back. They're a
Right.
perfect way. And
Yeah.
I feel like throughout the years, I keep seeing different types of bud bases, like a new
Yeah.
bud base I've never seen before, which is
Right.
keeping it fresh and exciting too,
Yeah.
which is really fun.
Yeah, and I think it depends on, like, the style of the wedding too.
Yes.
Like, the antique ones work better for different weddings,
Yeah.
or there's, like,
Yeah.
the clean, sharp line
Hmm.
ones and,
Hmm.
you know
Absolutely. Absolutely. I am noticing, I feel like personal flowers for parents are very 50-50.
Yes,
Do you, yeah, agree or disagree?
I agree.
Agree.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are deciding, like, that's a spot that they want to just be like, "You know what? We don't need that."
Yeah.
I think, there are people that still want to have flowers for, every family member, and,
Yeah.
that's great too. Like, if that's something that they want to do and they feel like
Hmm.
they wanna honor all these people at their wedding, then great.
Right.
But there are some people that are like, "You know what? I'm really gonna just do the wedding party and then that's it."
Hmm.
So it really just kind of depends on, like, the family dynamics
Right.
and, you know,
Yeah.
are there any strong opinions? Like, do moms really wanna have a corsage? Then just give it to them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, why not?
That's exactly what I say when couples are like, "Oh, what do you think?" Like, ask your mom.
Yeah.
Ask them before we cut this because then they might truly be upset that you did it because you just never know. Like,
Right.
some parents are like, "Oh, it's fine, like, save your money," but
Yeah.
others I agree with that, it's good to at
Right.
least ask.
Yeah.
That's one of the it's a good place to cut if you need to cut, which I hate to say that because your parents are wonderful people, but
Right.
if we absolutely need to and they don't care, I
Yeah.
think it's a good place to cut. Okay. We are still like, people are never gonna not DIY their flowers. That we're still gonna have that. But what aren't couples thinking about when they're like, listen, I really think we can do all of our centerpieces? What aren't they thinking of that they should just hire a full scale florist in that sense? Like, what goes into DIYing flowers that is super stressful?
I think with DIY, it's like you really are taking on all of the parts of my job, which believe me, it's you don't want to be doing that
Yeah.
for your own wedding.
Yeah.
I like you have to figure out, okay, how many tables do I have? And how many flowers do I want on those tables? I need to think about what colors do I want on these tables? How many of each thing do I want on each table? Like, actually go through and making recipes,
Hmm.
and then ordering the flowers, picking them up, getting them to your house, or, and then they don't just come ready to go. Like, you have to cut them all and put them in water, and you have buckets for all of them,
Hmm.
and you have to keep them alive
Exactly.
and make them all.
Hmm.
And not only do you have to make them all, which, like, could be a fun thing for you and your bridesmaids to do if they're all willing to do that, or like your family members or something. But you have to store them, you have to transport them, which, they take up more space than you think
They take
in a
up so
car.
much space. Yes.
Like, we are taking big vans all over the city all the time.
Yeah.
And then you have to get them to the venue, set them all up, all the while you're getting ready
Mhm.
for your wedding, or your parents are getting ready for your wedding, or your family members. So I just feel like oftentimes, like, it's a lot easier, even if you do have to cut back your budget a little bit, just have somebody do it for you.
Right.
Like, or at least, like, okay, do a pickup wedding. Like, we're a full scale florist, but we also do
Yeah.
weddings where you could just pick them up from our shop, and at least that way, like, the things are already made for you,
Yeah.
so that you can just pick them up, take them there, set them
Mhm.
out, and that's it.
Mhm.
So, at least that makes it a little bit easier.
Mhm.
And I have seen it done well,
Yeah.
but it just takes a lot more time than people
I know.
realize, and
Yeah.
effort. that I wouldn't want to be doing.
No. And I always say too, like, your wedding is not the time to try something for the first time
Yeah,
as
right.
well,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Like, I get it, but that's not it. So you mentioned being a full-scale florist. Obviously, everything that you just said there is being a full-scale florist, but is there anything else that we haven't mentioned that, like, what does that mean? What goes into being a full-scale florist?
I mean, it really is like everything from start to finish.
Mhm.
Like you're really paying for not only all of the time that we're putting into your wedding, but
Mhm.
just all of the experience that we have from doing multiple hundreds of
Yeah.
other weddings.
Mhm.
Like we're getting your inquiry. Like we designed the website to,
Mhm.
have an inquiry form, and then you fill out the inquiry form, and we're replying to you, answering emails, setting up meetings, and then, we're making proposals. You're having this whole plan made for you, kind of, we're working with planners, we're working with, planners and designers that are designing weddings and things. And with the full scale, like you're getting unlimited access to a professional
Right.
the whole time that you're talking with us.
Mhm.
So, we're making sure that we're talking to the venue and we're talking to the planners and we're talking to any other vendor that we need to talk with to coordinate everything and make things go as smoothly as they can. So, the most impactful part that the clients see is what we're doing the day of.
Yeah.
So obviously before that we were putting together recipes and, making the flowers, storing the flowers in our coolers,
Yeah.
delivering them to the spots, but
Yeah.
to the day of the wedding, like we're delivering flowers to you in the morning, making sure you have everything you need for pictures earlier in the day. We're there on site getting everything set up.
Mhm.
We provide, rentals, candles, everything that you might need for decor for tables, that sort of thing. And we're also going to be there to, move things if we need to from ceremony to reception. In certain cases that may not be as easy or something feasible, but if you're in the same venue or something, we would have staff on site
Yeah.
to move things over there to the reception and use
Mhm.
them again.
It's nice.
And then later on at night or the next day or whenever for the venue to come back and clean up everything too. So it really is like a full service experience so
Yeah.
that you don't have to be worrying about anything.
It's a lot.
Everything is just where it needs to be and then it goes away.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to worry about it. And then if there's anything that you brought yourself, of course, obviously those are things you have to worry about.
Yeah.
But we come in, we set up everything and we take it back. So it's not like something you have to be concerned about getting to the venue, setting it up, getting somebody to set it up, or getting somebody to take anything home, or, what am I gonna do with 20 centerpieces?
Mhm. Truly.
So
And you have team. A florist has a team, a
right.
big team. There's
Exactly.
like at least 5 of depending on the wedding, of course, but
Right.
sometimes there's like the bigger weddings, there's like 5 of you or so and coming and helping setting everything up. So it's just like that is so valuable right there. And I think when people are considering budget and money and all of that, when you're not a business owner, your mind doesn't go into all of those details.
Right.
You just like you said, you just see the wedding day itself and how it turns out and they're getting ready so they don't see the big team come in and especially when you're providing all the candles. Like you will come in with big racks wrapped with all this glass, take it up the Omni,
Yeah.
freight elevator,
Right.
unwrap it all. It's intense. It's a lot. And
Yeah.
like that kind of goes to everyone will ask, why do candles cost so much?
'Cause there's so much it's so much work you gotta store them, you have to transport them
Yeah.
safely, they're glass, and you have to clean all of them
Mm-hmm.
and get them to the venue, set them all up on tables.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like you're just setting a candle and being done with it, like,
Right.
you gotta get them all into the venue, you gotta get them onto 20 different tables.
Yeah.
There's different heights, there's different types, and you're working with glass, so it's not like you're just like, "Alright, just throw it on the
Right.
table," like
Right. At the end of the night, I never envy the fact that you have to clean all that.
Yeah.
Like what goes into cleaning glass? I know that's like maybe a silly question, but I feel like because I have like a couple hurricanes just that I use myself for like at home stuff, and I dread cleaning them every time. And am like, am I doing it right or wrong? I'm curious. Like, how do you clean all your glass?
I mean, it's just tried a lot of different methods of doing it.
Yeah. What works better this time around?
Just, it all depends on how dirty they are with how much wax is on the glass
Yeah.
and putting them in, like, hot water and
Mhm.
using different rags and alcohol and Windex and
It's
just, like,
ridiculous.
different potions of things
Yeah. Get all the
to
wax.
figure out how to get it off, and yeah.
It's a lot of work, and that is where your money's going. So stop asking because there's a reason for all of that. Which kind of brings me to as well, like wedding tax is BS. So give me your thoughts on that. A lot of people will say, "Oh, there's a wedding tax just because I told a florist or whoever, a vendor, that it's a wedding, the price went up." That is not true.
Right.
It's because all of the work that you just mentioned is what goes into a wedding differently from a shower. It's just more, it's just different.
Right.
Do you have anything to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I mean, weddings truly are, like, such a big they obviously, they are a huge investment,
Yeah.
and they are expensive, believe me, like, I totally agree, like,
Mhm.
I just
I do too.
they're just the amount of work that goes into them is so much different than what goes into an event or
Right.
a corporate event or a
Mhm.
party or something like that.
Mhm.
You have a lot more hours put into, like, fully designing and customizing this whole day that and usually weddings are much bigger than, like, a shower or, even if it's, like, a corporate event or something,
Yeah.
the focus of the event is not on the design.
Yes.
So, they're not as concerned with
It's a great way to put it.
how
Yeah.
things particularly are going to look. Like, they want them to look nice, but they're not it's not as weddings are, like, a very high stress, high emotion event.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of emotions invested in it, and everyone's excited and wants everything to look perfect and beautiful,
Yeah.
and as they should, but it just is something that has a lot of pressure
Right.
along with it.
Right.
So, the amount of work that you put into it has to match that
Absolutely.
to meet everyone's expectations.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's kind of like what the whole point of our jobs is.
Mhm.
We're kind of just we're all we're doing is trying to strive to meet people's
Yeah.
expectations.
You're doing great.
Just want people to be happy.
Yeah, you're doing great, sweetie. But it's more again, more team members maybe on a wedding day than on a
Absolutely,
corporate
yes.
event,
It's a
right?
lot more work, a lot more
Yes.
things to set up.
A lot more conversations about, well, Miranda, what about this type of flower? Like,
Right,
that's going into more weddings than exactly. So, it makes so much sense. And I know that it can seem frustrating once you see a price, at any point of your wedding. Oh my gosh, photography is this is that, this is that. But it is so much more work.
right.
Why do florists or some florists have a delivery minimum?
So we do have a delivery minimum. Because honestly, you just have to.
Yeah.
Like, you get to a point where you can't really grow your business at all and unless you're protecting yourself.
Amen. Yes.
So you really have to make it worth it. Like, we can't be driving all over the city for small events every day
Yeah.
and then we're never gonna be able to do a larger event. Like, we
Yes.
have to
Yeah.
be able to really focus our time and energy
Mhm.
on, like, okay, our minimum for delivery is going to be 5,000
Yeah.
and that's going to include the delivery and setup, but we want to make sure that we're not doing anything lower than that.
Right.
That's going to involve us to be have multiple team members on site
Right.
setting up things that will take us away from larger events, possibly booking, or
Right.
we don't want to have like 6 people all over the place stretched so thin doing tiny little events when
Yeah.
we could have only done 1 or 2.
Yeah.
So you're really investing in having someone who is focusing more on your event, to be
Yes.
honest,
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
because you're getting their attention more. Like,
Right. Right. Right.
so having those minimums, you have to have that kind of like set aside so that you can give your best foot forward to all of your clients.
Right. Because even too, like if you have a day, like from a business standpoint, where you just have, I don't know, $500 here, $500 here, $500 here, and you're only, you're spreading your entire day thin. And then now, how do you pay for that staff? How do you pay for your
Right.
build? How do you pay for the electric in your building? Even,
Yeah.
all that stuff that it's, you don't think about.
Right.
So I think that's really fair and makes sense. But the fact that you offer pickup, I think, is just huge because you could still get that beautiful flower. I think sometimes too, people see you on Instagram or just love that. Oh, I would love this, but maybe my budget's only 3,000. No problem. Go pick it up.
Right, yeah. We offer pickup, we offer
Yeah.
drop off,
Yeah.
within
Oh,
certain
yeah, drop off too. Yep,
limitations.
that's smart.
Within
Uh-huh.
certain limitations, but,
Yeah.
we that's something that we like to offer.
Mhm.
I I don't want people to look at community flower shop and see something that they really like and
Yeah.
not feel like that they can have it.
Yeah.
Like, the goal is to have everyone have what they want,
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's their wedding and they want it to be beautiful,
Mhm.
and I want to help them make it beautiful too.
Yeah.
So, maybe they don't have 5,000 plus dollars to spend on a wedding,
Mhm.
but on their wedding flowers, but they want to have beautiful bouquets and they want to have,
Yeah.
some beautiful centerpieces that they want to have it at their reception. So, depending on if it's somewhere locally, we can drop them off in the morning and they have someone there to set it up. Like,
Yeah, that's nice.
great.
Yeah.
Or if they want to pick it up from our shop,
Mhm.
like we'll have it all boxed up. They could
Mhm.
pick it up. And
Yeah.
I like being able to offer that because then we're able to do smaller events too.
It's
And
great.
I do think it's nice, like, if we're doing somebody's wedding, we're able to offer, like, we can do your shower, we can
Right.
do your bachelorette party, we can,
Yeah.
like,
Do
there's so
it
many
all.
different events involved that you might need flowers for that we
Mm.
can help with.
Yes.
And we're able to work with clients beyond their wedding too,
Yeah, that's special.
because
Mhm.
we do delivery 6 days a week as well. So
Crazy.
we can deliver birthday flowers, we can deliver,
Mhm.
whatever you need.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it's always fun to see a name pop up that I've
Mhm.
worked with.
Mhm. Mhm. You did my son's first birthday flowers.
Yeah.
I picked them up. My friend Brittany actually helped pick them up. But just in terms of the pickup, again, I am happy to be your planner and pick them up for you. So just think about it because I'm right there. I'm 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
I'm so close. With wedding flowers, again, we know that things cost money. What is the average range that you're seeing right now in Pittsburgh? Because we talk about some of these national averages being very ignorant and incorrect. So what is truly what you're seeing in Pittsburgh right now?
I feel like average, obviously it's an average
Yeah.
because
Mhm.
we'll do weddings that are smaller and then we'll do weddings that are much larger.
Mhm.
I feel like if you're having like a 125-person wedding, I feel
Yeah.
like that's a pretty standard size
Yeah.
wedding,
Mhm.
125,
Mhm.
150. People are typically spending, I would say, at least 8 to 10,000
Yeah.
on flowers,
Yeah.
at least. And that's not even having every single thing
Yeah.
totally done up.
Yeah.
That's getting you the centerpieces for all your tables. That's getting, maybe like a nice, more statement piece at like a sweetheart table or something,
Yeah.
maybe some ceremony flowers.
Yeah.
But, and having candles and things too. But
Yeah.
it's just, you're paying for
Yeah.
the whole full scale setup.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're getting the whole team delivering it to you, setting it up
Mhm.
and retrieving everything so that you don't have to worry about anything.
Mhm.
I would say that's the
Yeah.
average right now.
I agree. I agree. And I will say this until I'm blue in the face too. Like your guest list goes to all of this.
Right.
Like the less people you invite, the less tables you need. Like we do a lot of like I feel like I hover around 120, 130, 150 a lot too. So like you're closer to only 10, 11 tables, 12 tables, 13, 14, 15. But like once we start getting up to
20, 30 tables. Yeah.
it's crazy. Like you have to find a centerpiece for all of those. Like you have to pay for a centerpiece for every table. Like and no, we're not repurposing your bridesmaids bouquets on the table. They're not meant for that. They look silly. So it's like the more people, the more everything. So just always think about that with your guest list. But in this, cost of flowers, I personally love seeing color a lot. How many white weddings do you see? What do you think on average? Or like how often are we seeing a lot of just white?
Honestly, I feel like we have a good mix.
Good. Good, good, good.
We do a lot of all white weddings. We do a lot of like white with like a little bit of blush.
Yes.
That's like a big,
Yes.
and they're a big thing for a reason. Like people like that white can kind of be classic and go with
Right.
everything. But we also do a lot of color,
Mhm.
lots of color pops,
Yeah.
different like mixed colors for very summery
Mhm.
or like for fall, like
Mhm.
lots of fall, like oranges
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like we have been seeing a pretty good mix the past couple years
Mhm.
you're always going to have a white wedding. Like
Oh
it's a
yeah.
classic for a reason.
I know.
And everyone likes it for a
Mhm.
reason.
Yeah.
So,
Going for the timeless look.
yes.
I get it. I'm a big fan of color.
I do love color too. I do.
No, and I get it. And I think just like from a design standpoint, like a creative standpoint, being a creative person, it's nice to do things that are different. You're not seeing the same thing every time. If you're someone that you think you like color and you want to try it out, like don't be afraid to, I think too. There's a lot of beautiful things you could do with so much color. When it comes to the white weddings, are you doing a lot of baby's breath, like white roses? Like what are you seeing a lot of just from a flower standpoint?
So, I mean, I would say the past year or so, like with the baby's breath has been a big trend.
Yeah, lots of baby's
Um,
breath.
but it is something that you really have to, as with anything, like you really have to like go at it for it to make a statement.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, I feel like there's a misconception that people think baby's breath is cheap.
yeah,
And sure, it could be, I guess.
sure.
But I mean, everything is expensive.
Right.
And if you want to have it be the same impact as,
Mhm,
you know, what other flowers would be, you
mhm.
have to have a lot of it.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't say it's cheaper at all,
Mhm.
to be honest.
Seriously.
It really is going to cost the same.
Uh-huh.
But I feel like white roses have been huge, especially with the white rose, like, bud vase.
Yes. Yes, one singular stem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
people are
yeah,
really going for that.
yeah. It is
Um,
beautiful.
White roses have been huge in the
Yeah,
white weddings.
always, always. I did a very like white, like kind of clean linen like wedding last year, and the bride ended up loving calla lilies. She loved them, which I thought was such a different way to do white too,
Yeah.
because it was just like a cylinder vase with like one or two calla lilies in it, and it was beautiful, which I thought was a really nice way to do white a little differently that you don't see all the time. But I liked it. But people use, I feel like baby's breath as like filler a lot. Would you say that's like a good filler for people that want to save money if they're doing all white? Or are we thinking greenery is a better filler? What's a good filler if someone's like, listen, I want a bigger piece, but I don't want so many blooms. How do we dial down that price? Is that possible?
I think it really depends on the look
Yeah.
that the client's going
Uh
for.
huh. Uh huh.
So, I mean, you could always mix in, sure, smaller baby's breath or something, or I feel like I like to use greenery as a filler,
Yeah.
um, because you can get the darker greenery or you can get like the lighter
Right.
eucalyptus, which I
Yeah.
feel like is kind of like fallen out of trend.
Hmm.
Um,
I agree. So,
Most people are
yeah, you're
doing like
right.
the darker
Yeah.
greenery.
Hmm.
Or you could mix it up and have different shades of greenery. You could, I mean, there's just so many different things you could do with it.
Hmm.
But also like, you know, you could always go for like, all right, I want to have like a big tall centerpiece. Taller centerpieces are going to be more expensive than lower centerpieces
Right.
because you have to make them bigger for it to
Uh-huh.
make sense.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, a lot of times we'll use hydrangea that take up a lot more space than other flowers to
Right.
help kind of like fill it out.
Smart.
So it really just kind of depends on the look that you're going for.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to have any greenery at their wedding. So
Yeah.
you're kind of like, all right, so we have to,
Mhm.
then we have a conversation where we're talking about we have to have these larger flowers in there to take up space or it just won't be as big.
Right.
So,
Yeah. The hydrangeas, that's a very good point because those are some big bad boys. They
yeah.
they are that is
That's
that's a big flower.
one of the things that we'll do
Yeah.
as like something to help.
Yeah. Okay. All very fair, Miranda. I want to leave you with this. Are you like do you follow Taylor Swift? I'll put it right out there. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but obviously she just got married and it's a big deal.
Yeah.
If you are a Taylor Swift fan, that's fine. I'm just asking.
I mean, I am.
Okay,
I'm not
okay,
like a
okay.
huge Taylor Swift fan.
She's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I didn't really so basically my point is if I say anything incorrect with what I'm about to say with her wedding, please sue me. But I just saw some headlines that she did do a bouquet toss. Obviously, that is on the rarer end. I feel like not many people do a bouquet toss anymore. Fine, but a lot of people said the person that caught the bouquet posted a photo, and a lot of the comments were, "Man, that bouquet has seen better days."
Yeah.
So what do we think went wrong as to why that looked like such a sad bouquet? What went wrong? We can assume. We don't know. We don't know. We're just assuming.
Well, I mean, it's a toss bouquet. So it does get thrown.
Yes. It gets
And
thrown.
it gets caught or stepped on or, you know, whatever.
Yes.
And then it's out of water for
Mhm.
hours and hours and
Mhm.
hours.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I like to remind people that flowers are not going to look beautiful forever.
Yes.
They do need water. They are alive.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
that you can't really expect things to stay perfect for hours and hours if they're not in water.
Yeah. There are not everybody knows that you are supposed to also buy a separate toss bouquet as well. I have found.
Right, yeah,
Yeah.
it's always something I ask,
Mhm.
because, like you said, toss bouquets aren't as big as
Yeah.
I feel like they really used to be. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of people aren't doing them as much because I feel like people are getting married later and everyone does there aren't single people at a wedding, like,
Right.
they're just kinda not doing these traditions anymore,
Right. Right.
which is
Right.
totally fine,
Yeah.
but people don't realize that you don't throw your bouquet.
Mhm.
You know, you spend a lot of money on your bridal bouquet, maybe you wanna keep it, you wanna
Yeah.
preserve it,
Yeah.
and you don't wanna be throwing it in the air and having somebody step on it or rip it apart.
Literally though.
So, I
Yeah.
always am like, I'll make, like, a small, like,
Yeah.
easy to throw couple flower thing that you just throw, and you're like, "I don't care about that because who cares?" Like, it's just this little thing.
Yes.
It's more for, like, the sentiment of it.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good reminder that the toss bouquet people are grabbing at it. It
Yes.
is in the air.
And that's why you're not throwing your bouquet.
Yes, yes, it is that simple, that simple. Miranda Wilder, Community Flower Shop on the IG
Yeah.
and online. I really appreciate you being here and again bearing with me my setup because this is new. This is new for me. But I really appreciate it and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your wedding season.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Thanks.